See, we need to understand that earlier it was more about display. Now it is depth. Earlier you wanted drama and a person would say, wow. Today, that's not enough. It has to be accompanied by a why. Because the emphasis is on meaning. It's on authenticity. There's a sense of place. This is it, and I'm speaking about the luxury sphere, which is, let's say we're talking about $1,000 a night upwards. So the brands that understand this, they've realized that there has to be a pivot for them. For example, for Aman, it is privacy and calm. Mm-hmm. Now, they identified calm because one of the most precious things, in fact, the most precious thing in life is time. And if you can slow it down, and that is what they do with their architectural and design elements, creating slow zones where it gives you the feeling that time has slowed down. Similarly, for example, you have community zones. You have multi-generational travel, which is happening now. And one of the most common problems is that somebody has 3 or 4 rooms, a family has 4 rooms. Where do they sit and spend quality time together? Unless somebody has taken a suite, you don't have that. So you're spending that time where? In a restaurant or a lounge. Now, you didn't go all that distance to sit in a lounge. So since you talked about the architectural and the elements, these are some of the things that are carefully looked at. I mean, it's all about purpose, authenticity, and adding value. And you don't have, earlier hotels were, even luxury hotels or city hotels, it was basically city hotels, I'd like to explain this, that in India we call resorts, but really those resorts were not resorts. They were built as city hotels outside of urban limits. That's all. But they were not really resorts, and that's why the average length of stay there would be not more than 1 or 2 nights or 3 nights, whereas typical resorts would be 7. It's only in Goa that you had them, And that also was not for the domestic clientele, but you had the overseas people. In India, you had them in Kashmir, if you remember. When families would be returning every summer for several weeks. So it's in the resorts which have really, and I think when we are discussing luxury and hospitality, the heavy lifting is being done by the resorts, where there is immense creativity that's coming in.
Can you name me a few of these resorts which you call as distinct from city hotels being taken out?
New ones being built, or you're talking?
In India.
Look, I'm advising on a few, and these are, I think probably if I'm not in violation of any NDA here, but there are a couple of them, but there are some villasas. Okay? There's some villasas that we are doing, which are coming on. I think we are going to have a very exciting landscape of luxury resorts in the next 5 years.